Hi there, I'm Angela Brown, and this is Ask a House Cleaner. This is a show where you get to ask a house cleaning question, and I get to help you find an answer. Okay, so today's question comes from a student who's just graduated from school, and she's got hundreds and thousands of dollars in student debt, and she cannot find a job. So she's decided to start a house cleaning company, but because she's so in debt, she doesn't have the money to dump into building a business or to buying a franchise. So she wants to start her own cleaning company on the cheap. How do you do that? Okay, so I actually wrote a book on that exact topic for this reason. There are 10 or 15 people that ask me that question every single day. Now, in a perfect world, you would be able to start a business with no money and no research and no experience and all those things, right? Yay, that would be perfect. But what kind of a business would you end up with? It would be like trying to cook a meal with no ingredients and no recipes and no history of how to cook. You would make something and it might turn out, but it probably won't. And the same goes for your business. So I wrote this book called How to Start Your Own House Cleaning Company. And you can buy it as a book. It's actually a paperback book with pages. And you can either buy it on Amazon or you can download a free copy of it on Amazon as a Kindle copy. Okay, so in that book, I'm going to teach you how to set up your home office, how to go buy your cleaning supplies, what kind of a uniform to create, how to choose a company name, how to choose a company logo, all of the things that you need to start your business. So that's a really good resource for you. And like I said, you can download a free version of it on Kindle. But what I really need to let you know is this. No business is going to be 100% free. You're going to have to make some investments. And you want to, right? You don't want to be the cheapest business on the block because you have no advertising and you have no branding and you have no company image. Because then you're not really a business, are you? You're a hobbyist. Hobbies cost money and businesses make money. But in order for you to make money, you have to invest a little bit. Now, in the beginning, if you have student debt and you don't have a lot of cash to dump into your business, you have time. Time is also a resource. It's a limited resource. And most people will argue with you that time is actually more valuable than cash, because once that time is gone, you're never going to get it back, right? So one of the things that you want to focus on is right now as you're starting your business, you're going to invest back into your business, not cash because you don't have the cash, but you're going to invest time. And so with that time, you're going to spend a little bit of time every single day building your business. So until your business is full of clients and you're just working full time, right now, the very early stages as you're building your business, this is the time when you want to get all of your rules and regulations in place. You want to answer all of your frequently asked questions that customers will ask you. These are things like, do you work by the hour or the job? Do you work on the weekends? Do you charge more if you work on the weekends? Do you work around pets, or do I need to crate my pet when you come? Do you water house plants? What are the rules and the parameters by which you work? You don't want to show up at a customer's house and wing it, right? You want to know what all of those questions are. And I do have a list of 63 of the most popular questions that customers ask when you get that very first phone call and they say, hey, can you come over and bid my house or give me a free estimate? And so if you want that list of 63 questions, the link will be in the show notes. That's the easiest way to do it. The link will be in the show notes. And then you click on that link and it will open up a little thing. You add in your email and my machine will automatically send it to you. I'm not personally there to send it to you. There's an automated system set up to do that. Okay, so having said that, you want to figure out all of the things that your business is going to need. Now, one of those things that you need is you need to know, number one, how much money do you need? There are a lot of house cleaners that start businesses and they just fly by the seat of their pants. They have no idea how much their bills actually cost month by month. Therefore, they don't know how much money they need to bring in. And so they settle with however many customers they have before realizing that, hey, wait a second, I need 5 more customers to make my note at the end of the month. And so along with knowing how much money you need to make, then you can start breaking down your time into small segments, saying, okay, well, I need 3 houses a day in order to pay my bills. 2 of these houses I'm going to live off of. The third goes to paying my student debt, right? So what you do is you figure out how many houses you need in the course of a day, and that will tell you how early you need to start in the morning and how late you need to work at night. So that when a customer calls and says, can you come over at 10 o'clock in the morning? I can't. That's right in the middle of one of my cleanings. And so it's going to prevent you from booking appointments randomly to suit the customer because you're on a really tight time schedule. Remember, time is a limited resource, and right now it's your most valuable asset. So once you figure out how much money you need to make and you figure out your scheduling, there are a couple of other things you need to figure out, like how much money are you going to spend in cleaning supplies? Are you going to have professional uniforms, or are you just going to buy some inexpensive uniforms but make them consistent every day? Are you going to put logos on your company car? And if you are, why? Are you going to be marketing all over town because you're going to hire a whole bunch of people, or are you going to be marketing small in the beginning? Because if you start out really small in the beginning, as your business grows and as you get more money coming in, that gives you the money to expand. Now, sadly, I've got a buddy who just spent $30,000. I'm not kidding. He did not buy a franchise. He started his own business, but he spent $30,000 setting up his company with like wrapped cars and billboards and signs and all kinds of fancy things, but he skipped a whole bunch of steps in between. So now he has this amazing marketing plan and no customers. And he's not really in business. He just has this great big smoke and mirrors show where people will say, well, send me your referrals. Show me the ratings and reviews. There aren't any, okay? There aren't any. He hasn't cleaned any houses. He just has a really expensive, flamboyant looking business from the outside, but it's a facade. So if you start small, and this is where I want you to start because you don't have the resources to go out and be spending a lot of money. Start small and build your business. And as your business grows, as you have new experience, as you have new money coming in, that's going to allow you to still pay your bills, to pay off your debts, and to reinvest in your business. So it's a whole entire process. But my encouragement to you would be to block out some time right now. And I say right now because you're starting your business right now. The habits that you create right now are the habits that will continue on and serve you through the remainder of your business life. I would suggest right now that you take an hour or 2 hours a day to learn about business. Now, I know that sounds like, well, that's crazy. I'm just going to go clean houses. No, you're going to start an empire. And if you start an empire, it doesn't happen on zero information. You just went to college. You just spent 4 years or 6 years or 8 years learning a specific trade. And so it would be foolish to think that you're going to go in and build an empire with zero or no research behind you. You need to study about finances. You need to study about business. You need to learn about management. You need to learn about hiring employees. You need to know what motivates those employees. You need to learn about customer satisfaction. There is so much to learn about business. And then once you start earning money, how do you do your marketing? How do you do your advertising? Do you know about search engine optimization? There's a whole bunch of stuff that you can learn in 1 or 2 hours a day if you really focus your time and energy. But that is business time. That is you spending time right now reinvesting that into your business. And I want you to do that because if there are house cleaners out there and they are flying by the seat of their pants, and you are spending 1 or 2 hours a day learning the business and implementing what you learned, suddenly you are going to be so far ahead of all of the other house cleaners that are in your market that you will ace everybody. You will pass them and leave them in the dust, and you will be the one that builds the empire. So it is entirely up to you, but right now you have the studying skills and you have the time. So create those slight progressive moves right now in your business that will propel you into the future with a really successful company. So that would be my suggestion right now for starting out a business with no money. Okay, that's my tip for today. And if you found this tip helpful, give us a thumbs up. Let us know how you liked it. And until I meet you again, leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.